Alrighty, and hello everyone. My name is Noah Raven, and welcome to the Xander Zone. Today we're gonna be looking at whatever the heck those yellow eyes are. I'm gonna give more time to let people in, but yeah, I'm really excited for this. How's everyone's days going? And yeah, spam 14. Go nuts with it. Spam 14, have fun. I think the 14 memes are absolutely hilarious. And if you have any 14 memes, please send them to me. I'm really excited. I've been doing some of the investigation like off camera. And I feel like I'm like, honestly, but I'm stumped currently, so I'm really excited to see what you guys can come up with for today. Because I've literally just been like sitting here, like smashing my head against the wall, trying to figure out the one connection that I need. It is now 14 time. I will be pulling up images throughout the stream and stuff like that. It's gonna be really fun. I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited for this. No one is spamming 14. I feel like Ninja on New Year's. Yeah, come on guys, spam 14. You know what? We're not starting the stream until y'all start spamming 14. We're not investigating anything until y'all start spamming 14 in chat. I think Secret of the Mimic is the 14th one. I think Secret of the Mimic's 14th FNAF game. Because well, yeah, FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4, World, Sister Location, Pizza Sim. And obviously we're not counting like Freddy in Space. Okay, yeah, now we're starting to get 14 spammed. Yep, alright. There we go, guys. That's better. That's better. That's how we do it here in the Xander Zone. Ariana Grande has 7 rings. 14. Because I'm the 14 guy, Zan. It's now a thing on my channel, and I love it. I'm making it a thing on my channel, and every time I go on someone else's channel, and it's a live stream, I'm going to tell everyone to spam 14 in their chat. It's just something that's going to happen. It's funny. It's peak. It's W. Hi, get an ad, everyone. And if you didn't, then it's just me, because I'm watching my own stream to make sure that's all good. Yeah, no, I'm hyped for this. So, okay. How do I know how I'm gonna want to do this. Okay. So okay. I am currently snatching. Why? Okay, that's weird. Okay. Alright, hold on, let me read comments. I have a theory that Jackie is a Mimic because Mimic couldn't have been a girl. You never know. Mimic can literally change parts. Mimic could have definitely been a girl. I mean, well, technically counts without it. We wouldn't have had Sister Location. True. Oh, just wait. Just wait till you see the next series. Also, I do have a really cool teaser for you all. If you stick around to the end, I have a very cool teaser for everyone. So, okay. I'm gonna start getting into the investigation side of things. I'm currently swapping stuff around on my. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So this is from Right as Rain's channel, and we're gonna watch to see what he says, and we're gonna kind of see like what we could think of with this, and then we'll continue on from there, and I'll share my thoughts. So we're going to kind of be going back and forth between this screen and the podcast screen, in between us investigating throughout the stream. And also, I am going to be reacting to Terminal Error's Fredbear video because I was in it. Terminal reached out to me at like midnight asking if he could use a clip from the stream with like Rytos and ID and everyone, and I kind of wanted to check it out, and he gave me permission to react to it on stream. So that we'll react to it when he joins. So yeah, I think you should be able to hear everything. Okay, maybe not. Hold on. Where's that? Yeah, I need to go to audio. Okay. Now we're gonna go in. Okay. Now I think you all should be able to hear. Yeah, there we go. Turn it down a little bit. Okay. So everything that happens out there has an effect here. Now, I do want to mention, isn't this like a FNAF 3 audio? I think this is a FNAF 3 audio. If you know exactly where it's from, please correct me. But I'm pretty sure it's FNAF 3 somewhere. Might be FNAF 2 though. This is a safe place. This is a sanctuary, but something has gone wrong, and now it can be seen here. So obviously, this thing appears and starts talking to you. So whatever this thing that can be seen is obviously not the yellow dots or this. I think we can agree on that, right? Something went very wrong. That's why I am here. Hello, just a person. Mama, tell me the theory. So, something went wrong. That's why I'm here. So, obviously, the only reason why this person is here is because of something that happened, like in the real world, not in whatever's happening in FNAF World. But I won't let the same happen to you. So, whatever has happened to this individual, whether it be some spiritual aspect or an actual person or whatever, they're trying to prevent whoever we play as from having the same thing happen to them. And then the dread line of "I will put you back together." And then this happens, and then yeah, it just kind of cuts. Okay. So let's discuss this for a second before we go into anything else. So what is everyone's thoughts here on that? Personally, I have my thoughts of it taking place in Golden Freddy. This takes place in Golden Freddy, and who we are is Crying Child, and who is talking to us is Cassidy, or maybe even Andrew. Maybe. Hey, you got chips and water. Let's go. Okay. Actually, I should probably put this over to here. Okay, let me do that. Yeah. Boom. Okay, Wither is currently looking into the ambience. It might be FNAF 3 camera ambience that plays in the background. Okay, so I'm not sure who the long time and then it was started to we don't exactly know who it was in the beginning. I'm not sure who it is exactly. And then just gonna mention that Elizabeth is described as broken, needing to be put back together, just like Crying Child. That's also another interesting thing. Yes, that is right, Seeker. I do find it interesting that like the game begins with someone telling you that they're gonna put you back together, and then the game ends with a character being introduced that is broken and can be put back together. I do find that interesting, but that kind of completely flips. It's not FNAF 3. Only if it's edited. So where's that audio from, Withered? I have to wonder if they're talking to CC or the player character. Something wrong has happened, feels shattered victim-y. But I'll not let the same happen to you implies potential shattering of player. Also agreed. So I think, you know, here, I'm going to pull this up as we investigate. I want the whole entire FNAF world map. This stuff. Oh, whoops. Oh, FNAF world full. there. Okay. It could be Circus Baby. It could be. There's a reason why I'm leaning to Golden Freddy, but I do think at least who we are playing as, or at least in that scene, who we are playing as is Cry Child, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Though we do also have to take into consideration, the Circus Baby thing was not added until the Halloween update, if I remember correctly. The other thing about it is that, FNAF World was more meant to kind of be a UCN, if you think about it. Because you were, like, had FNAF 1 through 4, and he was like, yeah, here's a little fun game, FNAF World. And then he had the Halloween update, and then T's sister location in the Halloween update. So I do want to say that there wasn't really any reference of Circus Baby in, like, the main game, not until there was update 2, which was the Halloween update. To my knowledge. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I do agree with the Circus Baby. It's just hard to really connect. Like, if you were to be playing this at the time, how would you ever connect those eyes to anybody? If you get what I'm saying. How would you, yeah. Okay. Do you believe the yellow eyes are the same character as 8-Bit Bear? Possibly. And I'll get into that in a little bit, because I did do some investigation off camera. The whole reason why I wanted to do this is because I was doing investigation off camera and I wanted to get more help with it from the community. So if you guys help me out, might be in a video. Yeah, so something went very wrong. That's why I'm here. Elizabeth is shattered. I don't know if Elizabeth is shattered because we don't. I mean, unless if you want to say she's shattered between the fun times, but like, then why don't they talk like her at any point? But then you could argue that, like, well, no, because Ennard is Circus Baby in control. Won't Funtime Freddy doesn't come in control until after they kick out Circus Baby. So that's kind of like a weird thing. Like, I feel like if you were to get more evidence of, like, Elizabeth possessing the Fun Times, I could see that, but it's really hard to find anything for Shatter Elizabeth. I'm more behind Shatter Bite Victim, Shatter Crying Child. And also, I do want to say, it's just for the record, I do not believe any theories. But I can see theories. Yes, but in what way did he put her back together? That's the thing. In what way? Like, I agree, yeah, Michael did say, yeah, put back together, but in what way are we talking here? Like, that's another thing. When you know, I will put you back together, I put her back together, I put this back together, what do they mean? So, okay. Also, I do want to bring this up. This is Reddit, where I was able to find it. So this is like the whole map, and I've heard people say that this looks like a brain, and I think I can kind of see it. Can anyone help me out here? Like, so if this is flat out a brain, this pretty much confirms that where FNAF World takes place is in Crying Child's head. Like, it pretty much flat out confirms it. If this were to be a brain. Yeah, oh good. The brain map. He's like, yeah, I see, like, yeah, you would have, like, oh yeah, you can't even see my cursor on screen. That's an issue. 1 second. Well, I have capture cursor on. Why isn't it capturing my cursor? Come on, man. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, you have, like, you know, the brain stem here, and then it would kind of like come around and down like that, kind of, which it makes sense. And then, you know, you have like the wrinkles of the brain, and I find it interesting that, like, you have this cold part. And look at what the sound is. I thought it was from FNAF 3 originally. Because then, hold on. So for the ending where you do the clocks, right? I know you have a clock here. I know you have a clock here. Where are all the clock locations? I know there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's still missing out like 2 pieces of like the brain in this. Yeah, it's not what a brain looks like. Like, I don't think this is a brain, but I'm trying to like say, okay, if this is a brain. Now, I would pull up an image of a brain, but I don't really want to get YouTube looking at me, or the FBI, or the CIA, or the IRS, or the local police department looking at me. So, we're not doing that on stream today. Because, like, the brain stem kind of is like a little more in the back of like the brain a little bit, and it goes down the spine. So it's like a little more in like the back end of your head, like not all the way to the back, but a little more. And like it's a weird shape. It's kind of more like an oval almost, or I guess like 2 ovals put together. If I were to describe the human brain to someone. Okay, I will search up what a brain looks like. Let me go over to this just to be safe because I don't want anything messed up. Okay, human brain diagram. Okay. I think this is okay. Okay, we're going back. Okay. Yeah, it kind of looks like 2 ovals put together. And that's what a brain looks like. So you would have the brain stem kind of coming in right here at an angle. Now, obviously, this is an 8-bit game, so we have to take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. So if we were to be looking at the side here, the frontal lobe would be this area. Then you have the temporal lobe here. You have the parietal lobe up here, and then the occipital lobe here, and then this would be your brain stem. The issue is that the proportions aren't correct and the shape of it isn't correct. So I am skeptical on it, but I do think we do play as Crying Child, not for this reason. I will get into that in a second. So this is what the human brain does look like. Obviously, you have all the wrinkles stuff, which, you know, the lines and stuff are wrinkles. So that's kind of where that comes. I don't even know what you're talking about, Seeker. I was never really into Mario 64. I'm not even gonna lie, Chief. But so we have to remember that we're in a void, which obviously, you know, like with FNAF 4, like it ends off in a void. Like the end of it all is a void. That's the end. So after that, you know, Fredbear's gone and all that. Like, the only thing that I would say is interesting is that if FNAF World is meant to be a brain, it is interesting that the cold part is the frontal lobe. I will say that. But everything with it, the proportions are off and things like that. I don't think the FNAF World map is meant to be a brain by really any means. And that's just being honest. So if you were to like kind of in a way continue from there, that, you know, FNAF 4 ends in a void, and then kind of like the game right after, you kind of wake up in a void with 2 yellow eyes looking at you. I generally wonder if what's going on is that's Cassidy entering Golden Freddy, or maybe it could be Andrew later on as well, depending on what you want to see. The one thing I want to bring up was in the security logbook. I don't remember the exact page, but I know we all know that in the security logbook, Crying Child speaks through altered text. Like, they legitimately just alter the text. And one of the things they say, it's on one of the like, oh, review how your night was on a scale of like 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 or whatever the heck it was. And one of them is literally, I can't see. So we know at this point, Crying Child cannot see when they're possessing Golden Freddy or whatever they are possessing. They cannot see. So in this aspect, we have to think, okay, so then how are they able to see these yellow eyes? Like, how are they able to see these yellow eyes talking to them and even be able to hear it? And I think your best bet is something else is possessing the same vessel. And that leads us to, well, let's look at, you know, we also have to look at this at FNAF World at the time as well. Like, we didn't, like, at this time. Yes. Update 2, you are out of the map. That is true. And going up to FNAF World, you know, we didn't have sister location. Not even hints until update 2 of sister location. We didn't have Pizza Sim, Ultimate Custom Night, or any of the Steel Wool Air. We didn't have any of that. So we do have to think of, what would this have been trying to tell us at the time of the release? Like, why did Scott put this in? You know, so Crying Child cannot see in the security logbook. I'll see if I can find the exact page. I do have the PDF version. I just need to find it. Hold on. Bill's the goat. Okay. Survival log. No, not that. Whoops. Survival log. There. Okay. I'm gonna try to find the page really quick. 1 second. Hello, Cassidy page. It was like night 3 or 4. Okay, no, okay, so Crying Child can hear. On the event log for night 4, there's 2 things here. I can hear sounds, it was for me. Here, I may as well show this at this point. So here, you all go. So, yeah, so right here, this is Crying Child. I can hear sounds, it was for me. Okay. And then right here on night 5 is I can't see. So they can hear, but they can't see. So I do want to say that. And then also, Seeker, good point that you just brought up. I am actually going to talk about that in just a second. But yeah, so you have I can't see right here. And then literally the night before, so night 4, I can hear sounds, it was for me. So keep that in mind. So Crying Child can hear, but cannot see. And if we take now, please, all FNAF Twitter gods, do not murder me when I say this. We can take Andrew and Jake as a parallel here for an example of how it works with 2 spirits in a suit, okay? Now, please, gods of Twitter, do not kill me. I'm only using this as an example. I do believe Andrew. I'm a little skeptical on Jake, but I do think Andrew could exist somewhere. Please do not slaughter me. Anyways, yeah, I could hear sounds. So yeah, he can only like hear sounds, and yeah, he's confused. Like I think at some point he literally says, "I'm scared" as well. So like, and I also want to mention that like ever since FNAF 3 came out, Scott was like on a roll with Happiest Day. Like you had FNAF 3 Happiest Day, you had FNAF 4 with references to it all around the board, which I will be covering very soon in Locker's Theory. Y'all are not ready for that. And then we get FNAF World, and it's referencing Happiest Day even more. So I think there's something with Happiest Day that we just didn't understand. So I think whatever FNAF 4 and World was, it was meant to explain the Happiest Day. And now this is gonna lead to something that I'm bringing up in Locker Theory. Locker Theory should be coming out. I'm still waiting on Cryonide's bits at the moment. Also, I know some more new people joined. If you stay throughout the whole time, I do have a really cool thing for you all at the very end to tease. It's really exciting. So we do that. So like we know Cryonic and we have these. Yeah. So I think this is happening either within Gold Freddy or some vessel of some sort where there's two spirits. And I think that who we are in at least this scene is Crying Child. And then throughout all of the games, we play as that Freddy sprite. You know, that's like an Old Man Consequences and all that stuff. So whoever this player is the player in OMCs, is a player who does Happiest Days, a player of Freddy in the 3D world. So there's something here, and I do want to say that, and I did bring this up, you have 5 clocks. And obviously, if you take a FNAF night, 12 to 5 is 5 hours. And then you would have 5 to 6 a.m. being Happiest Day. You would have 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. And then you would have 5 to 6 being Happiest Day, because you would have all those pieces together. Also, don't worry, Terminal. So at this point, I'm pretty confident here that who we are in this is Crying Child. That's who we're playing as, most likely. It's a positive, that or Cassidy. I do want to say this. In the security logbook, Cassidy is obviously trying to help Crying Child. Remember his life. I mean, was your favorite, what was your favorite toy? Does he still talk to you? Was your favorite, do you recognize any of these toys? Was your favorite ride a carousel? Yeah, that as well, Indy. Yeah, if you do the OMC minigame and you see it, you still get a trophy in FNAF World. Therefore, they're connected. Exactly. So, yes. Yeah, no, like, when I say parallel, I like to say it more so in a fact of, like, okay, I know these two characters are similar to these characters, so to try to help explain these characters, I'm gonna use the logic that it uses for them and these characters. So, okay, Andrew and Jake shared a vessel, one could see, one could not. So if we go to this and we have Crying Child and Cassidy, one can see, one cannot. So in that aspect, there'd be a parallel. So yeah, Lord, I completely agree with you. So the yellow eyes, the friends we made along the way. And I do want to say this. I'm sorry. I was so throwing TDread and underscore under the bus for this. When I was on their FNAF 4 stream, they were saying that the yellow eyes was Charlotte. They are so wrong, because it literally cannot be, because Happiest Day hasn't even happened. So whatever this thing is that so we have to also figure out what happened in the real world that caused this spirit to be here. That's the other thing. Like, what happened in the real world that caused them to be here, and that they don't want to happen to Crying Child. So we go off of that, and it's like, what do we know of, casting Crying Child up to that point? Follow me, maybe. The thing is, like, I was talking to TDread, and one thing that we were thinking of is the fact that Cassidy can't move on. Like, literally cannot. And I do want to say this. I don't want to spoil it, because it's literally coming out, like, what? A week's time now, almost? Yeah, pretty much a week's time, almost. In Locker Theory, there is something to suggest that Happiest Day may not have worked. or that the Happiest Day receiver is not Cassidy. Well, Skies even said that he regretted making FNAF World canon, but it is. So FNAF World is canon. Like, whatever's going on in FNAF World, it is canon. He just regrets it. He just regrets making it canon. He wishes he didn't. So whatever this game is meant to tell us is probably really stupid. You know, and obviously FNAF World has to take place pre-FNAF 3. Like, that's another thing. And I do want to say that, like, Security Logbook is interesting in the fact that it has FNAF 3 imagery in it. Like, that's the other thing. But it never has, like, Springtrap or anyone. So, kind of mod. Kind of. It's not 14,300. It's locker theory is basically going into the lockers 16 to 22. And people are gonna hate the conclusions I get to, but they make sense in every way, shape, and or form. You know, and this is where I get kind of stumped with this. Is like, okay, obviously whatever's going on here is between Crying Child and someone else inside of the same vessel. It's just, okay, obviously this is pre-Happiest Day. Like, FNAF World takes place pre-Happiest Day. Pre-FNAF 3. And it seems Crying Child is like the main player. We are playing as Crying Child. I mean, I agree, Seeker. But the biggest issue with Elizabeth and the put back together thing is the fact that we had no clue of Circus Baby. Like, now if that was like in the main game, like update 1, it was there from the get-go, I would 100% agree with you, Seeker, that was Circus Baby. But it's the fact that that wasn't added until later in an update. And Austin, it's kind of piggybacking off 14 Theory, but what it really is that, like, I've seen people say that that, like, flat out 14 Theory falls off because of those other lockers. So I wanted to look into those other lockers, and people are gonna hate me for it because I was able to draw connections and conclusions for stuff. Yes, FNAF World does have a Happiest Day itself. Yes. That is true, Seeker, because, yeah, if that is Elizabeth's room, then, yeah, the Mangle toy take apart, put back together. That is interesting. I will say that. Yeah, no, I completely agree. That is interesting, Seek. I think really the only two candidates for these yellow eyes is Cassidy or Circus Baby Elizabeth. It's just the fact of how do we connect Elizabeth to Crying Child at this point? Yeah, no, that glitch Fredbear is confusing. Yeah, and she had different color. Yeah, she did have different colored eyes as well. I wonder if the yellow eyes is maybe meant to represent Afton's, maybe, in this aspect. Because in Midnight Motorist, you have, you know, like, Yellow Man, Mustard Man. Because, yeah, I think whenever FNAF World is happening, it's like happening like either right as FNAF 3 is happening or during FNAF, or like right before it, like literally like right before FNAF 3. So very close to. Yeah, New CN is filled to the brim with FNAF World references. It is. It really is. It even has Easter eggs of characters from FNAF World in it that could appear on the desk. Yes, someone has brought that up. I do think it is interesting that it seems that Yellow Eyes might be an Afton, because you also have like William Afton being Mustard Man, and then you'd have like these Yellow Eyes being another Afton. It's just the fact of the only other Afton that'd be around at this time is either William or Michael, because unless we can figure out a way to connect, Ennard / Scrap Baby whenever he was kicked out of Ennard to this, then yeah. There's an early sister location teaser where Baby has yellow eyes. Show me. Secret, get in my Discord. Post it. Find it right now. If you can find it right now. I think Happiest Day takes place pretty much the same time as FNAF 3. If not very close to it. Because everything seems to kind of drive it to that direction of like, it's either happening like right as FNAF 3 happens, or right after, or right before. Maybe. You don't have a Discord? Email me it. Instagram, Twitter, what other stuff though? Blue Sky. What else do I have? Steam. You're not getting my Facebook. Threads. TikTok. I don't know. I don't know. Message me on Crunchyroll. So, how do we... It's just the fact that if these yellow eyes were always meant, then what it... Because I do think these two entities are completely different. And, like, one is obviously malicious, whereas the other one isn't. I do want to say that Fredbear does seem malicious. He does seem malicious in some way. Pigeon. Hello, Mr. Pigeon. I'm trying to think, like, so you're leaving breadcrumbs by what you're doing for Glitchbear. I don't think Happiest Day works, or even happens. Because if you have Molten MCI, which is very heavily implied, the MCI is never set free. So I almost wonder if the thing that does it, that happened to Cassidy, is the fact that they can't move on. The MCI literally cannot move on. Yes, that is true. Yellow Eyes and 8-Bit both want to cry and child to rest, but 8-Bit Fredbear or Glitchbear is definitely more malicious in how it talks to the player and stuff like that. Like, Yellow Eyes is more just like, hey, here's what's going on. I'm going to help you. I'm going to put you back together, and I'm not going to let what happened to me happen to you. Glitchbear, though, he's kind of a menace. It could happen after Pizza Sim, yeah, but the thing is, how would we ever know that? Like, how would we ever know that? The only time we get Happiest Day is FNAF 3. And, like, correct me if I'm wrong, is there any references in books where a Happiest Day happens after Pizza Sim? Yeah, it's like, I almost wonder if FNAF 3, like, Happiest Day happens, but not successfully. That's also what I wonder, Terminal. Like, I will not let the same happen to you. And then, what's so ironic is that there's a Happiest Day in FNAF World. And I also do want to say this. I do think it's 3 people because you have 2 light gray characters and then 1 black character. And if you look at like the whole Happiest Day layout, all the children are light gray and the marionette's black. So it's like, I wonder if that main figure in the center is the marionette and then the 2 are Cassie and Crying Child. Sprites has the puppet, so yeah. Well, also the thing is, that doesn't really imply much because we know that marionette would always stay around after Happiest Day. It's even implied that in FNAF 3's game itself. That's also true. Yeah, that the spirits are free but choose to stick around. That is true. Because yeah, Frights does have that puppet mask, but like even in FNAF 3, the puppet's mask doesn't move with the rest of the kids. It does its own thing. I don't know if I would really go with that, Jax, because that seems to be taking a lot of liberties. Like, hey, there's a big party happening Saturday. I don't even know. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Mod. I do not know what that thing is. It is so weird. That like, I don't know. Maybe they're at a rave. I don't know. Maybe they're at a rave in the afterlife. I don't know. Also, hi, Undead. Hello, the eyes are mine. I mean, you do have 2 yellow letters on your PFP. Could be you. Maybe not. Could be. Who knows? God never confirmed what that ending was. Like, that's a theory, it's just Sky and his kids, but if the games, if FNAF World is canon, then that means that's just Steve Snodgrass and his imaginary family. Which we had no clue Steve Snodgrass even existed until FNAF Help Wanted. So I think that maybe it could have originally, but like, oh, that just makes it so weird because then he's like retconning stuff that he hasn't told us that's been retconned or doesn't even matter. Yeah, something else created FNAF World. I don't know if you can Seeker without Nightbot being angry, but yeah. I know Circus Baby does have green eye. The yellow eyes that appear to you first in FNAF World is what we're trying to figure out. But yeah, you go from like the Circus Baby standpoint, like yeah, there's evidence for that and there's evidence for Cassidy. I kick rocks. And something else, so if something else created FNAF World, you know, what would this something else be? You know, I just want to say this for the record. Happiest Day is so weird because how would like you even free those children if they're in a completely different animatronic of Ennard at this point in the story, to our knowledge? I mean, if you know, I mean, you could in a way say that The yellow eyes could be any of the MCI, because if this does take place closer to FNAF 3, it could happen as a, like, this could be inside of Ennard, and you could still have Circus Baby in there. And then, like, the whole I will not let the same happen, you could be like, oh, Happiest Day happened and I wasn't able to move on, but I will help you move on. And that's why we don't really get, you know, much of Crying Child in Pizza Sim. Also, if you think, you know, Molten Freddy's voice line of One Big Happy Family matters. And then, I mean, it could make sense that, like, this is taking place in Ennard. Because then you'd have Circus Baby in there. And then you'd have Elizabeth. I mean, that could totally make sense. But then what is Glitchbear? Because, like, you're leaving breadcrumbs for whatever the heck Glitchbear is. Yeah, it could be before FNAF 3. Yeah, no. This is kind of like where it gets done, because okay, I feel like this would be taking place in Ennard at this point in the story. Like, if we take by story standards, no matter how you split it, by FNAF 3, Ennard is already out of mind. Like, I think we can all agree on that. Which would explain the multiple weird characters, you know, the yellow eyes, Glitchbear, stuff like that. Then, yeah, that's probably Nightbot Seeker. So then it's kind of just a question of, like, well, who do we really go with here? So you would have, you know, Crying Child in this. But this would have to be pre-Scrap Baby getting kicked out. Or pre-Elizabeth getting kicked out. So FNAF World could be like this weird, like, game to bridge the gap between sister location all the way to 3, kind of. Maybe Pizza Sim. Kind of like how FNAF 2, even though it's FNAF 2, it's technically a prequel, so it's technically like a FNAF 0. Yeah, that's right. Helpy does have the yellow eyes. That's so far in the future, I'm not even going to use that as any evidence for anything. That's so far in the future at this point that, like, there's no way that has any connection. If that has any connection, I will find Scott. Yeah. I mean, it kind of gets to the point of, like, okay, so if you have the I will put you back together, is this just like a coincidence of, like, okay, obviously something is very obviously wrong about Crying Child that they need to be put back together? Is there actually something? Like, is there something where it's obvious that, like, yeah, you're just messed up, I'm gonna help put you back together, or is that does that just mean something? It's the fact that Glitchbear says you're leaving breadcrumbs for him is what bothers me. If you're leaving him breadcrumbs, what are you leaving him breadcrumbs for? And there is an eye boss bell that gives you 2 yellow checks. I don't know, just a person. Because he's in Springtrap. So he wouldn't really be in the afterlife. I don't think this is the afterlife. There's an eye boss battle. Where is that in FNAF World's map? Do you know where that is? Could be. So here's the thing. If we have a character that's made for one thing, that instantly gets rid of the marionette. Instantly, because even though Happiest Day happens, marionette sticks around. It instantly removes them because they're doing other things than that. So their one purpose. This would have to be someone where once this is done, they move on. And that we don't see past 3. Like, we do not see them past FNAF 3 in any way, shape, and or form. So this also gets rid of Michael, this gets rid of William, this gets rid of Henry, this gets rid of Marionette yet again, it gets rid of Elizabeth, it gets rid of the MCI, if you believe Molten MCI. All this really leaves you is Cassidy and Crying Child. And maybe the bullies. So whoever we play as is either Cassidy or Crying Child here. I think that's the one thing is like, if we go by Andrew standards, then you could say that FNAF World is Cassidy moving on and Andrew being introduced. It could totally be that. Or it's Crying Child putting the pieces together. And once the pieces are put together, their one purpose is done and they move on. Because everyone else sticks around. Like, everyone else literally sticks around. I mean, maybe it could be the DCI, but that's also like a, well, is the DCI and Lefty and stuff like that as well. So as we investigate here, okay, well, here's the thing. We wouldn't know about Bonnie Bully Jeremy or Freddy Bully Into the Pits version until way later on. I mean, way later on. So we have to think, okay, let's go up to UCN here. Because remember, UCN was supposed to be the end. So whatever the story was at the time of UCN, it was done. So whoever this character is has to be something from this time. It could be the Avatar or the Vessel, but that's just weird. Yeah, no, the DCI is something okay, you know what? If you guys haven't watched Cry Knight's Lefty DCI video, I really recommend it. It's really good. Please go check it out. I do agree, see here. I do think FNAF World is Crying Child's Happiest Day. So I do want to say that, like, you were made for one thing, and if it's completed in this one game, then either that person moves on or they're still around but they shouldn't be here. And in that case, that would reopen the possibility of the marionette as who we play as. Like the Adventure Nightmare animatronics. Like FNAF World Nightmare. God, I don't even want to think about Chipper. Have those yellow eyes in FNAF World are Nightmare Foxy with both yellow eyes and here, I'll pull it up actually. Okay. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. Yeah, so here, yeah, like you have all these animatronics, and the only ones that have the yellow eyes is Nightmare Foxy, and then you have Nightmare Chica with just one. So that is something to point out. Though I do want to say there are other characters, but the fact I find it interesting that Nightmare Foxy of all characters, who I think we can all agree is meant to represent Michael, has two yellow eyes. I do think that is interesting. I do generally think that is it. And if Michael is actively trying to put his siblings back together, this could just be Michael trying to put Crying Child back together. I mean, that is totally possible. Totally possible. True. And then that would mean that just as soon as Aaron's formed, Crying Child would move on, or at least shortly after. It's just there's nothing that's just kind of like, oh, hey, this is flat out. I think we have narrowed it down a lot. There's just nothing that's flat out saying anything. There's nothing that's just flat out like, hey, look at this deal, you know. But we know that Michael's spoken to Crying Child at some point. And another thing I do want to say that is really interesting, how would Michael even know that the security logbook would be a way to communicate with two spirits? I do want to say that is really interesting. I wonder if FNAF World was just an unfinished game, story-wise. Which in that case, I am more than open to the idea of this happening while they were inside of Michael, like skin suit entered. Yeah, it feels like there's a big piece missing to FNAF World that hasn't been discovered yet. If it's even there. Just what would this... I mean, because like you have FNAF characters of 1 through 4, and even from Fredbears. So we do also have to take into consideration that whoever we play as has seen the Fredbear and Spring Bonnie animatronic. Like, I think we can agree on that. Whoever we play as has seen Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. And even, like, pre-broken Mangle, which is Funtime Foxy. Like, I think that is very important to point out. So, like, they've seen the FNAF 1 animatronics, they've seen the Wizards, they've seen the Phantoms, they've seen these characters. Like, it has to be someone from the very beginning. All you really have that would be in this kind of position is really Crying Child. I think everything really more so points to Crying Child. You could argue Charlotte is who we play as. Yeah. Yeah, because doesn't Glitchbear say you're not supposed to do that? Wait, just a person. What are you watching? What are you watching for movie night? If they don't respond, the next time I see them, I'm asking them. You know, we never really did know why Elizabeth got kicked out of Enter. What if the reason why was because she was the one who didn't want Happiest Day to happen? And as a result, they kicked her out. That is another interesting thing. Yeah, like, where is Cassidy in FNAF 3? Like, besides Happiest Day, if you believe, you know, Cassie Receiver, where is she? Locker theory. Locker theory, that's all I have to say. Get ready for locker theory. Which really tells you to find the clock. Okay, so hold on. Who says that you're not supposed to find the clocks? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. It's been a second since I've done the clock in. Is it the yellow eyes? I forget who tells you to not do that. Oh, y'all aren't ready for 14 Theory Part 2. Y'all ain't ready for it. Oh yeah, but the intended route is to just fight Scott. I mean, it could be that, it could be that Glitchbear is Marionette and that the yellow eyes is someone else, but I don't know. I almost wonder if they are one and the same. But then in that case, why would they be appearing as, like, the Fredbear plush? It would have to be someone that would know about the connection between Crying Child and Fredbear, and the only people at this point that would be dead and would know about this connection would either be Cassidy due to the security logbook, Charlotte due to the fact that they were alive at the same time. Yes, there's a part 2. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna spoil this a little bit. The thing that I have for you all is a teaser for 1430 Part 2. Y'all ain't ready for it. Oh God, y'all ain't ready for it. So it would have to be someone that would know. Like, is it like, obviously I think we play as Crying Child. Like, they've seen Fredbear, they've seen Spring Bonnie, they've seen Fixed Mangle, they've seen all these characters that would have existed way early on in the timeline. So that like almost instantly gets rid of so many characters. Like, obviously they have to be dead. So you could argue maybe MCI victim here or DCI, but we don't know the age of the MCI. For all we know, they were all like 3 years old. Yeah, so I think like the 3 candidates right now is either Circus, is Elizabeth, Charlotte, or Cassidy. I think those are our candidates for these yellow eyes. It's just now how do we connect them? Yeah, I agree, Mod. I completely agree. Like, half of it is just a meta joke, and the other half is like really lore important. I completely agree with you on that. Is like, so far we have evidence for like Cassidy being the one talking. I mean, the fact that they're talking security logbook, Crying Child even says I can't see, stuff like that. I think that, okay, there's evidence for Cassidy. Then you also have like, I will put you back together. I won't let the same thing that happened to me happen to you. You have Elizabeth there. And then you have Charlotte of the whole, well, I want you to, help put Happiest Day together. It's like you have 3 good candidates here. And these are all candidates that most likely would have seen these characters too. That would have seen, from Fredbears all the way up to, FNAF World time characters. Oh God, mobile FNAF World. Yeah, I brought that up a little bit, that like you have William with, being yellow in Midnight Motorist. That is a possibility. Oh God, I wish we had like more. I feel like there's just like one piece here that like we need to find, and I don't know where to even begin looking. Like, I mean, Bubba, one of the bosses, has yellow dots for eyes too. It's like you have other characters that have like these yellow dots. Gab, if you have a slideshow, send it to me. You might have to message me on Discord though. But yeah, no. I find it interesting that every character that has yellow eyes is either like yellow dots are FNAF 4 characters or Bubba. Which Bubba in a way would literally just be a bear plushie, and then you have Nightmare Foxy and Nightmare Chica. But Nightmare Foxy has 2, so it's like there has to be something we're missing. There has to be something we're missing. What are we missing? What are we missing? We're missing something. I just don't know what. We're missing something though. What the heck are we missing? Because like we've narrowed down our candidates, which is good. That's what we need to do, is narrow down our candidates. Bubba does kind of remind me of Fredbear too. I'm not even gonna lie on that. Yeah, no, chat. I think we're kind of cooked. I mean, because it's like there's not really anything in sister location. You know, another thing. Does he still talk to you? Because that's something Cassidy asked Crying Child pretty long. Does he still talk to you? I wonder if this he is meant to be those yellow eyes, and just then that would have to be like, okay, this is male. Okay. Like, hey, talk to you. The yellow eyes are. Where's the page where Cassie asked, does he talk to you? The page with the... Okay, so the page with the Fredbear plush is where it says, does he still talk to you? Which is interesting. And it is definitely a more... It's a golden Freddy plush. It's actually not even a Fredbear plush. It's a malicious looking golden Freddy plush. But it has white dots. That's the thing. It has white dots. It's not Fredbear. Just in every instance that we see like a golden Freddy or Fredbear plush, it has white dots for eyes. Like there's not once where it has yellow dots for eyes. That's the main problem right now. I think it could. Secret, but yet again, Scott's very stupid with his sprites and colors and stuff like that, so who knows? That's a very good question. Thing is, I don't think Crying Child ever responds to that question. It might be to Michael. Because there's some things where Bite Victim Crying Child does respond, like with the party was for me and stuff like that. But then like this, Crying Child never responds like, yes, he still talks to me or anything like that. UCN Fredbear sells white dots for eyes too. It might be that yellow eyes is meant to be something else. God, imagine if the yellow eyes is just Andrew. Imagine that. Imagine that. That was the evidence that there was another spirit inside of Golden Freddy. The yellow eyes. If anyone makes a theory based off of that now, I better get credit. Andrew plush. It could be C. It's just like, what? It's like you could. I'm gonna say this. Like, this is not even actually bashing anyone. You can make as many connections as something you want, but unless there's something that definitively is like, yeah, this is a connection. It's hard to say. Like, yeah, Pigtails girl has similar text color and, you know, look like baby. Okay. But then how do you connect baby in the eyes? Okay, so you connect the Pigtail girl to the Fredbear plush, and you connect the Pigtail girl to Circus Baby. Now you just need that other line of Circus Baby and Fredbear plush. Like, if you can get a connection between Circus Baby and the Fredbear plush, that's very good, but good luck, because the only time we see a Fredbear plush is in the control room when she's entered, so it's not like it's even her. We do not have a conclusion yet. We do have it more narrowed down. It's just, we have like, okay, I connect you to this and this to you, but I need that second to third line. Like, okay, I could connect Charlotte to this, but I can't connect this to Charlotte, and stuff like that. Actually, let me look at stage 1 FNAF. And oh my, I'm gonna get angry. And that one, the Golden Freddy has white dots for eyes, and the Spring Bonnie has yellow dots for eyes. True. Babies are represented as the yellow eyes of FNAF World 2, so there's that. True. Because then, but so it's like, okay, you can connect Circus Baby, you can connect the Pigtail girl, which is Elizabeth, to the Fredbear plush. You can connect it to Circus Baby. You can connect Circus Baby to the yellow eye. Now you just have to connect the yellow eyes to the Fredbear plush, or something like that. The starry yellow eyes? Something bad is. I do think there's a lot of connections between like Elizabeth and this, but like there's something that's like flat out saying it. No, Fredbear plushes have yellow eyes. In Sister Location, it's white dots, and FNAF 4, it's white dots, in even this game. Well, in this game, it has yellow dots. Yeah, in Stage 01, Spring Bonnie has yellow dots. Let me also look at something. FNAF. Okay, what was I about to look at? FNAF or Fred. I want to see. Yeah, Spring Bonnie again has yellow eyes in FNAF 4. We have 2 instances of like Spring Bonnie having yellow eyes. What if wait, what? Okay, this is just a really weird theory, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. What if these 2 entities, Yellow Eyes and Glitchbear, are completely 2 different things, right? And Glitchbear is meant to show us Will Speaker, and it's like the Crying Child's warped image of William now knowing everything that William has done, and these yellow eyes is meant to be something else. So you would have Glitchbear being like a warped version of William Afton, you know, the murderer of William. And then you would have these other yellow eyes, which would be what? Because you have the Fredbear plush, which William would have been speaking to him through. And it's now glitching out, it's corrupted. Just like how, you know, Crying Child would view William after finding out about the MCI. And then you would have these other yellow eyes. But what would these other yellow eyes be? Like, you could argue that Glitchbear is meant to be some form of William. Some representation of William. But then what are the other yellow dots? These other yellow dots, what do we have to go off of? I mean, it could yet again just be William again. Because of the I will put you back together and all of that stuff. It's like you could have like just maybe 2 Williams, but I don't even want to get into Shatter William now. Oh god. Because I think we can all agree this is happening in like Crying Child's mind, or in some way happening, and only Crying Child really knows about it. And then you have Glitchbear, you know, being some warped version of William. And what would the other yellow dots? The thing with Glitchbear and William being rabbits is like, do we know if William really ever has a thing? Like, well, William's like, flout, yes, rabbit. Like, kind of just gets thrown with it, doesn't he? Like, even like in FNAF 4's minigames, he never wears the suit. He doesn't even have a plushie of, I mean, he doesn't have a plushie. There's only one spring lock suit in the FNAF 1 location. It just happens to be a rabbit. And like, we didn't even know what he used, but like, he used the Spring Bonnie suit. Like, God, it's so weird. But yet again, if this is meant to be, you know, Bite Victim's mind influence, then it could so totally be just, you know, well, my father that I know of never wore that suit. He always spoke to me through Fredbear's plush. And now that I know that he's a murderous psychopath, he appears like Glitchbear. They're just normal Fredbear plush. So like when FNAF 4 ends, he still sees the Fredbear plush as his father, You know, like, yeah, that's my dad talking to me. He's a good man. I love him with all my heart. That's my father. But then by the time, you know, he goes into Golden Freddy, Cassidy goes in, maybe they learn a little bit about each other, maybe go on a little, you know, haunted, you know, animatronic play date together. You know, it's like, hey, yeah, so this dude named William Appleton killed me and 4 other of my friends. Crying Child's like, oh, hey, that's my father. What an evil man. And now in Crying Child's head, it's Glitchbear. Yes, but here's the thing, mod. That didn't come out till later. Like, I really want to stress this to people. When we look at the games of like FNAF 1, of FNAF 2, like if we're trying to solve something that is in those games, we have to think of what would it have been telling us up to that point. So, and I don't want to like discredit like stuff that happens like 5 laps or stuff like that, but the most important stuff to solving FNAF is looking at, well, what is it telling us at this point in time when it came out? And once we figure that out or get close to it, we look at later. So like with 14 theory, it's so totally possible that 14 theory is just outdated information. But the only reason why we even came across that was because we looked at what was UCN trying to tell us at the time, and we just looked at UCN 14s. That's all we looked at. We didn't look at 14s in Security Breach. We just looked at UCN. It could be. Well, no, there's different lines said. The last line in that opening scene is the exact same as Fredbear plush, but the other ones are completely different. And Austin, yes, it does. It did come out later to emphasize that he was the Midnight Motorist guy, but Midnight Motorist wasn't even out at the time of FNAF World, and it wasn't even out, you know, and the thing with the antenna wasn't even out till like summer. So that's why it's like, yes, it is good evidence, but if we're looking at FNAF World as just the game, like what is it trying to tell us? We have to think, okay, so it has aspects of sister location. So we need to look at sister location, and we need to look at where that could lead us, and we need to look at FNAF World and FNAF 1 through 4. Wherever that answer is in there. So anything that directly connects to FNAF 3, connects to sister location, and connects to FNAF 4 should help us give us the answer to this. I think those are the important games we need to look at. God, I don't even want to get into trying to figure out if Elizabeth was originally meant to be the puppet. Oh, God. God, that's like a whole other theory for itself to investigate. Okay, so Draz, there's a reason for that. It's because of Glitchbear. You know, I'm pretty content with saying that at least Glitchbear is a representation, not the actual William, but a representation of him. You know, I do think the yellow eyes are meant to try to help. I think they are trying to help. Glitchbear seems a little suspicious at times, which makes sense for William's character. Like, if I was a kid trying to, you know, picture my father as some, like, creepy dude who lures children and murders them in back rooms while wearing yellow animatronic springlock suits. Yeah. Yeah, but he also says some weird things too, like you're leaving crumbs for me and stuff like that. Like he says some weird things from time to time. Like he really does say some weird things from time to time. But I don't think Glitchbear is meant to literally be William, just a representation. So in a way, yeah, I'm not even gonna say it. Yeah, because when you get into like representations of characters, especially when you're taking it from the mind of a child that died due to his head being chomped, it could go in so many directions of like, oh god, I don't even want to get into that. The thing is, with the breadcrumb dialogue matching line, the thing is, you're leaving breadcrumbs for me. Then that would imply that whoever the yellow eyes is the person who triggers Happiest Day, and the person who triggers Happiest Day is Michael, which would then mean that Michael is the yellow eyes. Michael is telling Crying Child to do this so that it leaves him breadcrumbs so that he can do Happiest Day. Or if you want to say Hudson, but I don't believe Hudson. Hudson is stupid. Yeah, they're definitely on the same side. I will agree. They are definitely on the same side. And if William is the one who said, I will put you back together, it would still make sense for him wanting Happiest Day to happen, because then it would mean his son would be put back together. I do want to say that. That if that is the case, it would make sense for at least William to be somewhat at play here. Also, I do want to say this. I find it so interesting that the marionette appears in FNAF 3 and doesn't attack William. I do want to say that. The marionette appears in FNAF 3 and doesn't attack William. Nah, I didn't even read what we found. I'm still working on getting all the books. I'm broke. Donate money. Oh god, it's Elizabeth Afton. I mean, now this is just a wild. I'm just gonna grab it and kick it like a football and see where it lands and what people thinks about it. What are the odds that FNAF World is actually, of all characters, Charlotte and William working together to free Crying Child? What are the odds? I'm literally just taking that and just like kicking it out the window and just see where it lands. What do you guys think of that? I mean, I think that Charlotte would know at least that William is Springtrap. I think at least that. At least by the time of UCN, I think. And then I do want to say that like it's also interesting that Security Puppet in Pizza Sim has yellow dots for eyes. And again, you have, the marionette and William appearing again. And even the Security Puppet's whole entire minigame has William in it. And Charlotte. So there seems to be a connection between those two. I will say that there does seem to be a connection between Charlotte and William. Like every single time that we see William pass FNAF 2, the marionette's always around. I don't know what the breadcrumbs would be for Crying Child in that case, though. The thing is, the marionette wasn't there for the spring locking. Flat out. Like, the marionette wasn't even there. Like, yeah, the marionette was in the FNAF 1 location, but, like, marionette was not there during that spring locking. Like, they don't appear, ever. Not even as an Easter egg do they appear. Yeah, the original had green eyes. And I do agree. And plus the fact that it appears in the sister location of UCN, and it has the lines like the Fun Times. I genuinely think it's like a Fun Time marionette. But I do find it interesting that it had yellow dots for eyes. It was just something to point out. I don't think they're the same character, though. Which then again, if that is a Fun Time puppet, you have another connection between, you know, William and the puppet. You do seem to have a lot of connections between marionette and the puppet. Like, what the hell? Also, I do want to say this about the line, yeah, the, I don't hate you, but you need to stay out of my way voice line. God, what script was that in? It was either Locker 3 or 14 Part 2. Let me look at 14. Yeah. It is 14 Theory Part 2. Okay. Then yeah, I'm not gonna say it. I genuinely think these eyes, it's narrowed down to be Charlotte, Cassidy, William, Elizabeth. I think those are the 4 candidates. And I think that's actually really good to start off with. I hope you enjoy my closet saying on all the boxes and like knives that are in there, okay? Because like that's basically where all my stuff is for when I move out. And there's like no room in there. And how's the spiders and centipedes? Yeah, the shadows weren't there. The only people that were there were the 5 spirits and William. That's it. I do want to say there has to be a reason why, you know, Glitchbear has to be glitching. Why is it glitching? There are knives in my closet because if you don't know, I'm only 19. I still live with my parents currently. And you know, I've been, you know, over the years buying stuff for when I move out, so I have like, you know, kitchen knives and stuff in there. No, Cypher does not get to be out of the 4th closet. And good luck opening the door from the inside. You're gonna have one a heck of a time. I've tried. I got stuck in there for 30 minutes. Okay, one second. My dog, what's up? Yeah, Pepe. I don't think that glitch an official name. That's interesting. So Gibby has an idea that in a way Glitchbear is like a representation of William. Ooh. Okay, y'all don't understand why Terminal said that because we haven't reacted to it yet. We are going to react to it at some point. Okay. Okay. God, I'll look at the flip side when my eyes are ready for that. You know what? Sure, let's react to it right now since Terminal's in here as well. Let's react to it. I'm gonna pull it up right now. One sec. Because I told Terminal I'd react to it. Terminal. If every single time I search up Terminal Error, all I see is anime girls in your face in the corner of the screen, Terminal. Forgot if I have to see scary anime girls one more time while trying to go to your channel, I'm gonna freak out. Okay. Okay. All right. Terminal Error time. So this is the very beautiful man and my friend Terminal Error, who we had a very nice conversation about macaroni and cheese last night. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure. Okay, let's see. Can you all?
Welcome back to another Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay, so yeah, very great dude. Check him out. Go subscribe to him. We are watching What is the Fredbear plush really? Jump scare, mustache. Also, I know exactly where you got this neon light from. It's from Amazon. I know exactly where you got it from because I've thought of getting it myself.
Welcome back to another Five Nights at Freddy's theory. And today,
also, Terminal, I will be watching the whole thing front to back to give you the watch hours and ad revenue.
How the vanity mask might be the key to figuring out one of FNAF 4's biggest mysteries. That mystery being, what exactly is the Fredbear plush?
W to all these members on Terminal's channel. Now, please come over to my channel and give me money too, please.
You know, the one that MatPat calls, he's here, he's there,
he's everywhere. Who you gonna call? Psychic friend Fredbear.
Now, how exactly did I connect the vanity mask to the Fredbear plush?
Yeah, no, Terminal, literally, this is from Amazon. It's from Amazon.
Well, it all started with the Help Wanted 2 Secret of the Mimic teaser. After collecting all the puzzle pieces throughout Help Wanted 2 and bringing those pieces together in order to create two separate images,
God, dude. By the way, I don't know how many of you actually watched my FNAF Help Wanted 2 update video. I was so scared putting this puzzle together because I was like, I swear to God, there's like a kid just like on the grill or something. I'm gonna get demonetized. Oh yeah, stage 3 is really eye-piercing indie. Oh yeah, I completely agree.
Objects in those images then show up in the room with us. A mysterious van that happens to have the Mexis machine inside of it, along with a mysterious building that seems to be some sort of gift shop. Now, there were a couple of things that really piqued my interest with this gift shop. One of them being the stained glass window that has a blue Bonnie head instead of a yellow one like we would expect.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who's been pointing this out. Okay, it bothers me so much that for some reason there's like a blue Bonnie and not a spring Bonnie. Yeah, no, Terminal is so cool. Terminal randomly like gifted me like 5 members on my channel, and then we've just been talking a lot ever since. Terminal's a really nice dude. Go check him out, guys. Seriously, he's a really nice dude. Really genuine dude. He opened my world to French fries and salad, which is an absolute monstrosity, but I'm willing to try it one day.
Expect when sitting next to a Fredbear head, and the fact that the puzzle and the building don't seem to match one another. The puzzle doesn't seem to have the stained glass window that I just mentioned, and it has a different paint job on the wall, and the letters on the signs don't have the same colors.
Are you serious? Jeez, Terminal. You are... Wow. You are really, like, analyzing this. You're even analyzing the colors of the letters.
But the detail that I found that was important for this theory is the literal sign pointing towards masks in a game where you constantly put on and take off the Vanny mask. So what am I saying exactly? That the Vanny mask existed way back in 1979? That's not possible, right? I mean, it's not like FNAF has had masks all the way back in the early part of the timeline. That's right, Mike and his friends all use masks in FNAF 4, just 4 years after the supposed date of Secret of the Mimic. Masks have been a thing since FNAF 2, whenever we first use a mask as a defense mechanism, and almost every game since then, there has been a mask that has shown up. FNAF 2, we wear a mask as a defense mechanism against the animatronics. FNAF 3, there is a box of masks in the corner of the office as well.
Okay, I'm sorry, Turtle. I'm gonna pause right here. I do not agree that these are masks. I mean, they're just casings. I mean, you could say they're masks because, like, yeah, they don't have the end nose in them, but they're more just the casings.
As all the kids needing to wear masks.
But this I do agree with. I also know exactly where you got this screenshot from because I use the exact same screenshot in one of my next videos.
During Happiest Day, FNAF 4, Mike and his friends all wear masks
I agree.
whenever Dave is put into Fredbear's mouth. FNAF's sister location, Ennard, needs to steal the mask from the main office room.
True.
FNAF Help Wanted. We earned the Vanny mask after beating the Dreadbear DLC.
You also have the FNAF 2 and what else do you have masks with that game? I don't know if there's not really any other masks that you get in that game. So you also have like the FNAF 2 mask, but yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay.
FNAF Security Breach. Vanny then wears that mask in order to try and hunt down.
I think it's a different deal with the head, but agreed.
Gregory. FNAF Ruin. Cassie then puts on the Vanny mask and we wear it the entire game. FNAF Help Wanted 2. Cassie's father puts on that same mask the entire game. And Into the Pit even has a mask that we can find in the house. What I'm trying to say is that
comes from the attic.
Are very prevalent throughout FNAF, and the fact that we are getting a game that has
very good job at finding all of them, by the way. Very good job there, Terminal. Very good job.
A mask mechanic that is also teasing the next game with a literal sign that says masks pointing towards the building, and we have this weird clipping knockoff that Fazbear Entertainment created. It makes me think that maybe these masks, the Vanny masks, might have been around for a little bit longer than we initially thought. Now this, along with the idea that me and many other theorists seem to agree on in some way or another, that the personas that are created after putting the mask on seem to be able to persist outside of the human body, similar to what we see in the Help Wanted 2 ending, where Vanny crushes the glitch trap virus. Vanessa doesn't seem to be connected to this at all, but Vanny is a different story. Vanny is her own thing now. Now, this made me think that maybe if Vanny can persist outside of the human body and the masks that we have...
God, are we literally getting shattered, Vanessa? Oh yeah, the mask game in Curse of Dreadbear. You're right, yeah.
Existed way before we initially thought, then maybe, just maybe, that thing that we saw back in Into the Pit, where GGY was atop every scoreboard, maybe it wasn't an Easter egg. Maybe GGY existed way before any of us initially thought. Now, you're probably saying to yourself right now, Terminal, Into the Pit isn't connected to FNAF 4 in any way. How are you going to talk about the Fredbear plush? And that is an excellent question, because originally I was not going to talk about FNAF 4. until I was watching a certain live stream. Now, just a few weeks ago, TDread and Narrow Raven were both
Guys, look, it's me. I'm on the channel.
hosting a live stream where some of the best FNAF theorists showed up to debate pretty much anything. Your boy was a little bit
Guys, I'm no longer there, but TDread is. How could you, Terminal?
busy trying to edit the not so perfect FNAF timeline, which if you haven't watched, you definitely should. And then I came across this part of the live stream while editing.
Okay, so my opinion on psychic friend Fredbear.
Hear me out. That brain chip, you know how Helpy talks to you? What if William put a little brain chip inside Bite Victim? I just came up with that on the spot.
Insanity.
Now, obviously, you should check
You know what's funny? I remember exactly. No, you're good, Terminal. It's funny. But literally, like, flat out, I'm not even gonna lie. I remember when JoJo said that, and I was so hyped about it because it made so much sense, and I had so much to say about it, and then I completely forgot about it like 5 minutes later. Yeah, no, Lady. So, Lady Lucky, I've been appearing in so many videos as of late, and I'm gonna be appearing in more coming soon. And every single time, I literally go to my parents like, I'm in this person's video that I've been looking up to for years. Literal years. It's so cool, and like they're so proud of you. Like, if you guys can see behind the scenes, it's so wholesome behind the scenes.
out all the creators that were in that live stream, but this one in particular.
Yeah, go check out all those people. And also, I do want to say it's about JoJo. JoJo's so nice. I absolutely love JoJo. Really nice person. Absolute fun to just hang out with and talk to. There is something that I worked on that might be coming out soon. I don't know when it's coming out, but make sure to go check out JoJo.
JoJo or something? No, that's actually her name. She was the one to come up with an idea that even I thought was crazy for a minute. And I'm the one who made a video saying that Bazgoo is canon to the games. But then I thought about it for a little bit, and then I realized that maybe the idea wasn't so crazy, especially thinking about all the stuff that we've already talked about before in this video. It made me think that maybe Dave did have a brain chip in his head, and Fredbear was just basically his version of Helpy. I mean, it makes much more sense in my opinion, considering that we can see this thing in places that it shouldn't be. Like in a flower, we hear this thing even though it's not in the same room with us most of the time, and we can see and hear this thing after Dave has already went into his coma. It also completes the trinity of experiments that we see William conducting on his own kids in order to try and perfect hallucination technology. Sort of. It at least connects each of his kids to a different type of hallucination technology, which leads me to believe that he's experimenting on his own kids to try and figure out which one could be the best one to use. Mike breathes in the nightmare experiments in FNAF 4, causing him to see the nightmare animatronics. Dave has a chip put into his head, causing him to see and hear Fredbear no matter where he goes. And while Elizabeth in the games isn't connected to illusion discs, because we really haven't seen illusion discs, she is connected to them in the Silver Eyes trilogy. After she possesses Baby, she uses illusion discs many times in order to try and hide her true form from other characters. And before you say, but Dave doesn't wear any sort of mask that—
God, Terminal. That makes sense so far. Let's see what you're about to say that's going to either make me yell at you or love you.
we've seen in FNAF 4. You're right, we haven't seen him wear a mask in FNAF 4, but in FNAF 3, that's a different story. In the Happiest Day minigame, whenever you collect all the other spirits and bring the crying child cake, he finally—
But Cassidy, in Return to the Pit, the black-haired child. Yeah.
puts on the Golden Freddy mask. And I think that this is Dave because if you flip the Happiest Day minigame, you get the same layout to the FNAF 4 minigames where he's—
But that's just a coincidence.
dragged off to the end of the hallway to get bitten by Fredbear. This Happiest Day is supposed to be his happiest day, the birthday that he didn't get. Whoa, 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 hang on.
Wait a minute. I'm so confused. Where does this come from?
What about that dang Fredbear plush and the walkie-talkie sitting right next to it in sister location? I'm sure you didn't remember that thing, and that there proves that somehow.
I'm sorry. This is peak Terminal. This is I'm only seeing Terminal as this from now on. Not the man in a suit. I'm just gonna see Cowboy Terminal for the rest of my life.
How William was communicating with his son. You think I'm not ready to talk about the Fredbear plush and the weird walkie-talkie thing in the sister location office? I am so ready to talk about those things because I think it gives us a good reason as to why Fredbear speaks in 2 different colors. Because while the plush itself is most likely the inspiration that William used in order to create the avatar that Dave sees, the walkie-talkie itself was the thing that was holding me back. Like, I had no idea how I was going to be able to explain this thing. It obviously was some sort of way that William was communicating to Dave. It just didn't make sense to me because we see William trying to help a different person into one of the suits at the establishment, which means that he couldn't be talking to Dave at the exact same time that that's occurring. But then why would the walkie-talkie be next to the Fredbear plush? It just wasn't adding up for me. And then I remembered the color yellow and how Scott changed the text color on the very last message that we see from the Fredbear plush. Oh, you still need me to explain it for you. So the Fredbear plush text is the exact same color throughout all of FNAF 4 except for the last message that he sends to us right before Dave dies. And then I remembered that there are 2 very similar but very distinct versions of Helpy talking to us in Ruin. The regular version that we see that normally comes with the mask, and the weird glitched out version that the Mimic is using in order to communicate to us without us realizing. This weird text color change is just the exact same thing that we see in Ruin with Helpy. They're both similar enough that somebody probably wouldn't notice, but they're distinct enough to show that somebody else is communicating with us. William put in some sort of weird backdoor access into the brain chip. That way he'd be able to communicate directly to his son in case of some sort of emergency. Like, I don't know, his son being in a coma and not being able to communicate with the outside world. That means that all of the messages from the Fredbear plush in FNAF 4 are coming from this weird Fredbear Helpy AI thing that William created, which makes sense whenever we get to the last few messages that he said in FNAF 4 where he's saying things like, "You're broken, I can fix you." But that last message specifically doesn't come from the Fredbear plush. That is whenever William steps in order to say, "I will put you back together." And with that, I'm going to leave this video here. A special thank you to JoJo for letting me steal her idea because even though, yes, I still think it's a
I'm just gonna let the outro play and then I'll give my thoughts on this in a second.
crazy idea, I still think it has great potential. And thank you to Narrow Raven for allowing me to steal a clip from the live stream. Links to both of them should be found down below. And since you're already heading down there, why don't you go ahead and like the video and hit the subscribe button so you can see more of my content in the future. Thanks for watching to the very end, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!
Oh god, non-suited. It's just normal terminal error. It's not the suit, man. Oh no. Please play. Uh-oh. Computer.
I'm Eric Hare, CEO.
I know you did that with a string, but god, that just is creepy. You know, now I do want to say this. In that case, what if just the pure yellow eyes in the void is the Fredbear plush and the Glitchbear is just William? I think that was a really good theory. I think that was really nice. There's nothing that like the thing that I will always complain about with here is that there's nothing that's like thought, oh my god, connection, but that's really good though, Terminal. That's really, I like that a lot. Good job to both Terminal and JoJo. Seriously. I think that was very good. There's nothing that flat out connects them, but it's very good. I am so open to that possibility. Honestly, I am. Like, I think if we were to get more evidence for it, I could genuinely see that happening. I think that's really good. I think once we get more stuff, yeah. That it's crying chip. There you go. Crying chip. Yeah, Mike Gas, crying chip, Elizabeth disc. Yeah, it was JoJo's idea, true. But still, the two of you did really good job. I think once we get more evidence, I could see it happening. We just need that like flat out connection. But I think it's very good. Very good. Make sure you go subscribe to Terminal Air and everything. I don't have any plans to work with Terminal right now, but I would love to work with Terminal sometime soon. My God, this is evil. Faz neural link. Ripple illusion theory. I just need to figure out what we'd work together on, Terminal, because like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do this right now. There's some things I literally just cannot say because of like, you know, it's not my channel, not my stuff. Let me count how much stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so there's literally like 7 collaborations I'm working on, some being on my channel and some being on others. It's like, man, I don't know what else to do right now because I've had so much. Well, actually, no, there's 8. Because yeah, the one was Zetorox that was already announced. Yeah, there's like 8 actually. Chip victim sounds like the theory that bite victim possesses L chip. God, you know what? I'm making that a theory on April Fools. You know, hello A. I just want to say this. By chance, do you live in Wisconsin? And specifically, did you grow up in central Wisconsin? Because if that's the case, I know you. Because I knew someone literally named A growing up. They were a year younger than me. Imagine Crying Child just like possesses a tortilla chip. Have you guys seen the Netflix show Chicken Nugget? It's literally the show where like this dude's daughter turns into a chicken nugget, and the dude who has a crush on her and the father work together to try to turn her back. It's like a Korean drama. It's so stupid, but it's funny on like another level. Like you can tell they had so much fun making it. You know, if you think about it, actually, you would have a security system inside of Crying Child's head. Like, if you do want to go with a bite victim with a chip in his head, then you would have a security system in his head. You would have Chipper, which would kind of be like a virus, I guess. You would have like the overall system, which would be Anim Dude. And then you would have like the working contents throughout. You could argue that if you really wanted to. Yeah, you do have Virtua Freddy. God, dude. I'm surprised we haven't seen Virtua Freddy again. I loved Virtua Freddy. He's like one of my more favorite obscure characters. Also, I think I'm pretty satisfied with where we are with those yellow eyes. I think it's going to be more so something where I'm going to have to just like really sit down and stare at renders all day. And lines and all that stuff to really connect to something. But I do think that there's a way to solve this. I do think it really does. We did narrow it down a lot. So I think we're on to something. And if any of you guys do your own investigations and find anything, please let me know. I do have a Discord. I have a Twitter. I have an email. And of course, YouTube comments. Let me know. Those are all like the main areas. So. You know what? You give me $10, I'll do that, Draz. I'll still do it for free. But if you're gonna give me $10, $10 is $10. In this economy, I might be able to get a Hershey bar with that. Isn't it Scott's night paralysis demon just Bonnie from FNAF 1? Isn't it literally just Bonnie from FNAF 1? Raven can be bought. Give him your money. I think William's a contender now, too. I do think William's a contender to be the yellow eyes. Because you have multiple instances of, like, the Spring Bonnie animatronic having yellow eyes. You know, the I will put you back together. Is it on your channel, Draz? What's your YouTube channel? There it is. Okay. Oh my god, you actually have like a 45-minute video. Okay, so it's solving FNAF World's greatest mystery, right? Okay, so as soon as I switch the screen and start playing the video, everyone just make fun of Draz for like 2 seconds and then just let it go. All right, we ready? Okay, so when I say on the count of 3, everyone just type boo in chat. Okay. Okay, are we ready? Okay. All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Everyone say boo.
FNAF World is one of, if not the most underrated of the original FNAF games, especially in regards to its lore. Often because Scott regretted tying the RPG to the main lore of the games, but many don't realize this lore is still quite relevant and does help us understand what Scott intended with FNAF 4. Oh wait, I'm stupid. Welcome back everyone. If you're unaware, I recently released my first video ever, covering my theory on FNAF 4 and its minigames, answering how with those first couple games, we can solve and understand the story of.
All right,
well,
at the end of this,
Wonderful.
on the count of three,
During that
everyone
video, too,
cheer.
I am greatly
Everyone just like say
surprised
yay or
and
something on the count of three at the end of this,
reception
okay?
it's gotten. Thank you so much to everyone who left a comment, liked, or just watched the video. It was so greatly inspiring seeing people who inspired me to learn basic editing leave a positive comment. Thank all of you so much again.
Leave a positive comment. I'm getting everyone to boo Draz. Yeah, no, Draz, in all seriousness, this is very good. This is very good, in all seriousness. One second, I need to... Okay. I need to do something. Okay, chat's working now. Okay. Well, sadly, we didn't catch all the booing, but I will have the live chat replay. So if I do make stream highlights out of this, Draz, you're going in the stream highlights of everyone booing you. Okay, here we go.
Moving on past that, consider this video as somewhat as a sequel to that one, as it'll follow up on a lot of what we discussed there, so I suggest watching it first. However, whether you did or not, FNAF World is very useful in uncovering answers Scott wanted us to figure out after FNAF 4. But what are all those answers in particular? Well, let's not waste our time too much and get right into it. Before we start, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and leave a comment down below.
Nice animation, nice animation.
Let's actually first consider the context of FNAF World's release after FNAF 4. What were some of the biggest questions we had coming off the game? Well, while questions surrounding the sister, the gameplay being real or not, and more existed, none compared to the questions of who the Fredbear plush was alongside the crying child's identity. These arguments
God, man, you got some animations on you, dude. Also, I need to move this over to my other monitor. But dude, you got some animations on you, man.
the biggest and most important debates following FNAF 4, and likely what Scott would be trying to answer through FNAF World's lore. But what was FNAF World's lore? After all, the game is a silly RPG with meta references to fans and even Scott Coffin himself. You even fight his avatar Anim Dude. Luckily for us though, the lore in this game is quite condensed and honestly straightforward, as almost all of it is contained to the clock path and ending. The only real lore relevant part outside of the clocks is the intro segment, which, conveniently, is a perfect place to start. Start the game being met by a set of pale yellow eyes. They stare at us, giving us several lines of dialogue. Everything that happens out there has an effect here. Understand? This is a safe place, a sanctuary. But something has gone wrong, and now it can be seen here. Something went very wrong, and now I am here. But I won't let the same happen to you. I will put you back together. Now these lines
Hey Draz, you want to work together? I'm a fan of this editing style. You want to work together?
actually give us a lot to start off with. Firstly, we know who's talking and who he's speaking to. For one, it repeats the same final line the plush we're into FNAF 4 with, which not only makes the speaker the same as the one in FNAF 4, but makes the one he's speaking to the crying child. If you also watched the previous theory, this would then mean the eyes here would be the puppet, but we'll move on to that later towards the end. What of the rest of the text though? They speak of this place being a sanctuary, a place that was safe, but something has gone wrong elsewhere and it now affects this sanctuary. The out there is most likely the real world and is affecting this spiritual sanctuary place, but what did he mean though by not letting the same happen to the crying child? Well, like the puppet, that is something we'll go back into later towards the end. With that being pushed aside for now, we can slide into the main game itself. In the main game, you're often being directed by Adventure Fredbear, who gives directions where to go, guides you, etc. Basically a tutorial man. However, if you wait long enough on his final piece of dialogues, you get a conversation with a weird glitched out 8-bit Fredbear, or as I call him, Glitchbear. This Glitchbear...
Okay, I'm sorry, can we just say that like this render is just like him just like giga chatting it? Just giga chat right there. Also, we have a narrowed down list, funny guy. I'm gonna have to do some more investigating, but I think we got to the point where it's like it's just gonna take so much over analyzing that I don't want to do it on stream, or I'm gonna drive myself in.
Will often direct you to find the clocks through cryptic language. Clocks are very important, and we will go into them very imminently, but there are 2 pieces of dialogue we should take into account before we get into the clocks. Those dialogues being, "But you don't really believe that, do you? There's a task for you to complete. You need to leave breadcrumbs for him to help him find his way. Yes, the world beneath the surface world. This is a safe place, essentially. The truth is that there is no safe place. You don't understand that. You are made for one thing. There is a task for you to complete. Before you take this passage, go back. Find the clock." These 2 pieces of dialogue give us some very useful indicators, with the first line saying that we have a task, that being, well, the clocks. But more importantly, that we're leaving breadcrumbs for a hint. Who this is told to us later, but it's worth noting that these breadcrumbs are in reference to the clocks, which as we'll get into, are pretty important on the meaning here. However, with the second line, it restates the fact that this was a safe place that is, well, no longer safe, but then says it was made for one thing, with a specific task in mind. This tells us that the player of FNAF World is effectively an artificial creation of this Glitchbear entity, and luckily, this makes our adventure character pretty much inconsequential for the story. He's just a vector for the Glitchbear to accomplish his goal. With that said though, we can start getting to the clocks outright. Throughout the game, we can find these clocks throughout the map, which then spawns us in a unique minigame each time. Each one is very simple in and of themselves. In the first one, you push a BB into a box, and then wait for the timer to tick down. In the second clock, you can play it by lining up 4 buttons by touching them. On the third, you push all 4 cupcakes into the boxes. And on the fourth one, you complete this by touching the center button before the timer runs out, then giving you the code 395248. The final clock then follows. You are met with a Shadow Bonnie sprite, having to push him into a box. Wow, there's a lot of boxes here. After
Once. No, I'm just enjoying watching this. This is a really good video, Draz. My computer is being really stupid. Uh-oh.
completing, put some
Draz, I think you broke my computer. Uh-oh. um... 1 second, guys. Hold on. I'm getting the video back up. 1 second. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Now on the fourth one, you complete this by touching the center button before the timer runs out, then giving you the code 395248. The final clock then follows. You are met with a Shadow Bonnie sprite, having to push him into a box. Wow, there's a lot of boxes here. After completing Put Something in a Box Simulator, you can then play the game normally until you defeat Pork Patch and gain the key. Then by returning the Chop Rewards and unlocking a key block, it reveals a warp portal. By then entering the warp portal, it gives you the clock ending. We are still your friends. Do you believe that? The pieces are in place for you. All you have to do is find them. Rest. Okay. There wasn't a whole lot on the surface, but if you remember anything, these lines pretty much spell out the entire meaning here. It not only reaffirms the speaker here is the exact same one as the final speaker of FNAF 4, reiterating the "We are still your friends" line, but also confirms that he is speaking to the crying child at the same time. However, what's more important is the lines about the pieces and finding them. These pieces indicate that the Glitchbear here wants the crying child to find pieces, and by finding these pieces, he indicates that he'll be able to rest. Which does make sense, given the trophy for this ending is a crying child trophy, indicating that he rested. But what are the pieces? Well, firstly, they're the same as the breadcrumbs, as both involve the crying child finding them or finding his way with, so they're for him to find. These pieces are also the clocks. But what are the clocks? Well, as many have pointed out across the many years since the game came out, each of the clocks minigames corresponds to a build-up minigame for Happiest Day in FNAF 3. the ones required to unite the kids to the main Happiest Day minigame, but more particularly, they are the hints in Follow Me. Clock 1 corresponds to BB's Air Adventure, where you click a picture of BB on the wall and can find the text BB double-click in Follow Me. Here you can also see the second clock minigame corresponds to the hint for the button controls for Mango's Quest. Each one follows this same pattern. 4 gray cupcakes for Chica's Party World, the 4th clock giving us the wall tower code hint for Stage 01, and the final one matching the shallow body hint in Follow Me, which then leads you to the glitch minigame. Each of these minigames are about setting up the Happiest Day minigames, but not the main one itself, only the ones required to achieve it. This allows us to better spell out what exactly is going on here in the clocks. Pieces and breadcrumbs are the Happiest Day minigames you're setting up, and you're doing this for the crying child to find, and for him to be able to rest. If you remember from the previous theory too, these Happiest Day minigames are the crying child's memories. This tells us the player for all the minigames of FNAF 3 is the crying child, except for the last Happiest Day minigame of course. This would just be the crying child finding his memories and freeing his friends, and by doing so, he's able to rest. The culmination of this would be the Happiest Day minigame itself, as mentioned. This is effectively saying that the crying child is the receiver of Happiest Day after he has freed his friends, the MCI kids. This concept is even boosted with an update to a FNAF World, as well as a teaser with source code, and within that source code you can find the words, "He put the pieces back together," which honestly quite adds up if it's about him piecing his memories together and freeing his friends in the process, and by extension, freeing himself. This also wouldn't be the first time we've seen a similar theme before in the series. In the novel trilogy, particularly the 4th Closet, we see—
Okay, I'm just gonna pause this just for a second. Draz, you're cooking. I can't wait to see what but Draz, so far you're cooking. I'm gonna give my full final thoughts in a second here and build off of this, but so far you're cooking.
one of the ghost children, the most important of which being Michael Brooks, the Golden Freddy spirit of the trilogy. In the book, he's trying to free his friends, even calling them broken, and using a very similar put back together line. He is struggling to free his friends though, but Carlton, an old friend of Brooks, guides and helps him piece his friends back together, which then frees them, allowing him to then defeat Afton, freeing all of them alongside Brooks. If this theory is correct, it'd be nearly the exact same theme, with Charlie taking Carlton's place and helping Golden Freddy, in this case the crying child, piece his memories back together and free his friends, which then allows them all to be freed together, fulfilling Charlotte's goal and freeing all the children, and fulfilling her promise she made to the crying child, putting them back together. With all those details in mind, consider again the context of when FNAF World came out in relation to FNAF 4. The plush bear and the crying child's identity were arguably again the biggest debates following 4, things Scott would be trying to answer through World's relevant lore. Just think about it. If these were the biggest divisions after FNAF 4, the main debates, things that everyone were discussing about, why would Scott, when making a game which is clearly tied to the previous game, not answer at least some of those major questions? So taking in that logic, this would mean this is giving us the answers to those questions, clarifying Happiest Day for the crying child, which then means the crying child is Golden Freddy, while Glitchbear is overseeing the setting up of Happiest Day for Golden Freddy, which in FNAF 3 is what the puppet—
Okay, you know what? Hey Draz, after this, DM me. I will give you a piece of information that's gonna really help your theory. Just saying. DM me when you have the chance.
does, making the Glitchbear the puppet, and by extension, Plush Bear. Again, to hammer this point home, if Crying Child and the Plush Bear's identity were the largest discussions after 4, why were the path so clearly tied to both characters not be answering the biggest question about them, who they are? With all that out of the way, I believe that answers the main questions about FNAF World. It influences on the identity and fates of the main characters from 4, while clarifying what Happiest Day exactly is.
Literally, here, Draz, I'll only say this. It's going to be in locker theory. And it kind of helps your theory.
Though there is one thing we didn't leave open earlier, that being what the puppet meant during the intro. Let's replay those lines. Something went really wrong, and now I am here. But I don't want the same happen to you. Now before we go into this may seem like at first like a stretch, but I want you to bear with me, as it will make sense. We must first ask, what specifically occurred? Well, it could just be the bite, but what calls down the question for me is the following line, if we're not wanting the same to happen to the crying child. There's not many options for what this could mean. But one does open up when we realize that FNAF World is quite symbolic. It's not an event happening at one point in time. It represents a passage of time, from the earliest points in the timeline to the end, Happiest Day. With that in mind, it means these lines don't have to be about the bite, but actually predate the bite. What if it's about the MCI? Firstly, it does make sense. The puppet is now here because of the MCI. We see as in Give Gives Give Life. The puppet arrives to give life to the children because of the murders. Her calling is to protect the children. The missing children's incident in this case will be what went very wrong on the outside, that caused the puppet to come here and make things right. This thing gives us an explanation for the second line. If this is in reference to the MCI, this would be the puppet trying to save the crying child from the same fate as the others, the only one she can truly save. She won't let him become an animatronic if she can help it. She won't let the same happen to him. But we do kinda all know how that turns out in the end, don't we? Conveniently for me, this allows me to do a bit of a quick leeway into answering one of the major objections to the last video. That being this one by the Unwitted Truth, who was concerned on why the puppet would only revive the crying child but not the other children. And the answer to this is somewhat nuanced. One important thing to realize is that while spirits can heal and revive people, keeping them alive from their own will, it's not unlimited. In the fourth closet, Michael gives a part of himself, that being his soul, to heal Colleton of the molten liquid injected into him. Colleton, though, even warns against Michael doing this, as is well a part of his soul. It is reasonable then, he can't be doing this willy-nilly, as it's probably a big act to do this at all. Again, it's his soul. Similarly, with Angel keeping Afterlife in the Frights books, while it's not stated, I doubt he can attach himself to many people and do the same all at once. He was barely keeping Afterlife as it is, and Jessica and Frailty was outright limited by the amount of remnants she had through the pendant. If the puppet is anything like these examples, she wouldn't be able to save all the children, so she would have to save the ones she cares about the most, the crying child. Whew. Well guys, that was it. This was a much shorter video compared to the last one, thankfully might I add. This was also sort of a sequel to that video, so I hope you enjoyed it, and it granted more insight to the conclusions of the previous one. If you have any thoughts on the theory, please leave them down below in the comments, and like the video if you enjoyed it. I greatly value and appreciate any sort of feedback. It's also been really fun making these past two projects. I do hope to create more in the near future, and as I do have an idea as well about a FNAF World gameplay video, so keep in watch for that. For that being said though, have a great day.
Okay, Draz, very good. Very good, Draz. Very, very good. Very good, Draz. Actually, dude. Keep doing stuff like this, man. Like, keep doing this. I think you can totally make it. It was really good. And I completely agree with a lot of points. I agree with a lot of points. There's some things I definitely disagree with. I mean, having, bite victim in some way be, fifth victim is no. But I think you're definitely onto some things. Yeah, it was pretty great. And there was some stuff I disagree with very hard, but it was very good. Very good, Draz. We gotta wise up. I can't read it from here, but whoever just Freddy Body Chica and Foxy subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, I finally have alerts. Thumbs up. Yeah, everyone go check out Draz. Absolute W. Absolute W. Absolute W. Go check them out. Also, Draz, don't worry. I will be putting your channel and the videos link in the description of this stream after I end the stream. Oh, hi Neon. We're pretty much discussing the yellow eyes in FNAF World. I think the character being some construction and this whole place being made by Glitchbear and those yellow eyes, and this being in a way Crying Child's happiest day. Those are things that I've kind of thought that this is Crying Child's happiest day. I just never knew how to put it together, and I think you did it absolutely perfectly. The yellow eyes weren't quite too solved for me, so I do think Charlotte makes sense. You know, it's like you could do Cassie because Cassie tries to help in the security logbook. I feel like there's more evidence for Cassie just because of the security logbook where Cassie's trying to help Crying Child, stuff like that. But I think overall, that's like a solid like 7 out of 10 theory, 8 out of 10 theory. I think it's very good. It had good pieces of evidence. It was very good. Oh, hey, it's Exploding Loaf. Hey, guys, if you don't know, Exploding Loaf, I'm going on their channel sometime in the future for a podcast where they interview me. If you have any questions, please go check out their Twitter, YouTube, or anything like that, and ask some questions, and I will maybe answer them. So, yeah, thumbs up. Yeah, that was very good, Draz. Very good, actually. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Genuinely. What time is it? 3:40. Okay, so live for like 20 more minutes and then... Okay. Honestly... I don't know if the questioning spirit in the logbook is Charlie per se. Like, that's a hot take. If you can get evidence for that and make a video on it, or even if you'd want me to be on the video, like if, you know, I do want to... I do want to say that, like, if you are a content creator, I literally do not care if you have literally 10 subscribers or if you have 1 million. If you would like to work with me, please reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Discord, email, Twitter, or the comment section. So far, I think right now, it makes most sense for it to be Charlie or Cassidy. I'm gonna... I think I'm gonna have to do more investigation, but I think it's gonna be leaning more towards Cassidy or Charlie. I think Draz did a very good job. I've spoken to Dual Process Theory a little bit. I want to work with them. They're really cool. GPT, if you ever watch this, work with me. Oh yeah, you know what? 20 minutes left. Let's do the reveal. Let's do the reveal of the stream. Let's do the cool reveal. Hold on, let me get the image. Let me get it. I have to find it. And I can't okay. Here we go. Oh god, it's zoomed in. Hold on. Okay. Let me... Okay. Then... Sources, where's the image? Where's the image? Media, add image. Okay, everyone. Are we ready for the reveal of said stream for today? So, this is your first teaser for 14 Theory Part 2. There it is. Woo! So, this was made by my girlfriend, Melicorn. Now, this is not the thumbnail, it's just art for it. Can you guess who that other person is? Can you guess who that other person is? Because that is the design of someone's character. And I will say this, I am currently reaching out to someone else. Okay, yeah, it is Gibby. So Gibby is coming on. I am working on getting a third person. Now, I am open to you guys guessing. I'm not going to confirm or deny anyone, but I am open to you guys guessing who the third person will be, if they agree to it. I haven't gotten a response yet, but yeah. Scott himself. No, that I will definitely say no to. I wish. Dude, if I could even get Scott to like say a syllable. Yeah, no, Gibby's really cool. I love Gibby so much. Gibby is so much fun. I've been watching Gibby for so long. I love Gibby. I absolutely love Gibby. So this is like a dream come true for me. Like I freaking love Gibby. Gibby, if you're in stream, I love you. Could be, could not be, Draz. As I said, I will not be confirming or denying anybody, but it could be. Obviously, though, any guesses, just know that I'm still working on with the third person, though we do have the concept art for that third person already made. Gibby is amazing. I love Gibby. Gibby's such a nice person. Like, every single time I've spoken with Gibby, he's just been a really nice dude. Like, I can... Okay, here, I will tell this story right now about 14.3 Part 2. So, I have it all scripted out. It's all scripted and everything. And I messaged Gibby a couple nights ago about this, like maybe a week ago. And I was like, hey, Gibby, would you like to do this? And he was like, yeah, I'm out of town right now. I'll check it out when I get home. Can you send me the Google Doc? And I was like, yeah, sure. But, you know, don't, you know, rush. You know, there's time. It's not coming out for a while yet. And all of a sudden, he was like, yeah, I like it. And he sends his voiceovers and his stuff, and I edited a lot of it. So his stuff is already done. Like, this dude was on it. Like, he got everything done in the same night I asked, which he did not have to do. Okay. I will say this. There is a theme with the guests. I will say that. The 14 theory is more just a UCN thing. 14 theory part 2 is a little something else and adds more to it. But it's definitely more just a UCN thing. I don't think it's an overall game thing, though I did look at other games, and that's kind of more what 14 theory part 2 is looking at other games with. But yeah, Gibby is so nice. Gibby is so nice. Also, so far the guesses have been nice. Okay, I said this on my 14 theory talkback stream, and I'm gonna say it again because it has been bothering me. No 14 theory is not meant to say Cassidy is a vengeful spirit. No 14 theory is not meant to say Andrew is a vengeful spirit. No 14 theory is not meant to say who it really is. It's meant to say that Golden Freddy himself, the Golden Freddy is the vengeful spirit, and that whoever is controlling Golden Freddy at this point in time has to connect to Golden Freddy. Okay, I will say it's not TDreads because TDread, it's not going to be anyone that was in part 1. So it won't be TDread or Unwithered. I haven't spoken to Unwithered in a second. I need to message him, man. It's been a second since I've spoken to Unwithered. I've been so busy. I feel so bad because like so many people I've spoken to behind the scenes I've kind of just like disappeared on because I've just been so busy. Like, I edited my first ever IRL video the other day. It was so much fun. Yeah, I know people are using 43 to prove Cassidy toyshing, and like I see it because, you know, like, oh well, there has to be a connection going Freddy, so it's easy to do that with Cassidy, but it's not really meant to say anything. It's just like, if you want it to be Andrew, if you want it to be Cassidy, I mean, heck, if you even want it to be Michael, if you want, I mean, even if you want the Vengeful Spirit to be William for some reason, they have to have a connection to Golden Freddy. That's all 14 Theory is saying. Whoever the Vengeful Spirit is needs to have a connection to Golden Freddy, and by proxy Fredbear, because they appear as Fredbear when you death coin them. And the FNAF 1 Golden Freddy. I will say this, and this is a hot take for some people to hear, and I am okay with that. Finding the small details in the story of a game is just as important as finding the big details, because the small details can lead to big details being found. Like that's the flat out honest truth, is that just because a theory doesn't solve everything does not mean it is any less important or more important than another theory. So, like, I'm not going to really say much, but, like, the number 14 on a locker isn't going to solve everything. It's just not. A slanted 14 on a locker just ain't solving nothing. Like, it's solving very little. It's not solving everything. But it's going to solve something. And I think we figured out what it was meant to tell us. And I don't think there's really anything else it's meant to tell us other than Golden Freddy is the one at play here, who's the antagonist of this game. It's Golden Freddy. They're the one doing this. That's what the 14 is supposed to tell us. And then, you know, 43 Part 2 is like, well, let's go see where other 14s appear, where other 7s appear. It's kind of what it is. That's kind of the whole deal with it. It's like, well, 14 Theory Part 2 is more fun. It's where just like, where else does 14 appear? And there's a lot of cool, interesting spots for 14. And there's like stuff, you know, throughout this whole entire franchise where 14 appears. In relationship to Golden Freddy. So, do with that as you guys will. Get ready for 14 Theory Part 2 isn't coming out till March, I think, is February, so. Well, that's interesting, Gab. If you can send me evidence of that, let me know. So, like, whatever people do with 14 Theory, I am fine with it. I just want people to know that I made it in the fact just to say that whoever you want to be the Vengeful Spirit is Golden Freddy. And, I do want to say this. I know that there's a FNAF wiki for 14 Theory. And I'm not even going to lie, I absolutely hate it. It uses stuff that we specifically did not use for a reason. It contradicts itself a few times. I don't like the wiki for 14 Theory. No hate to the creators, by the way, whoever did make that wiki page. I just don't like it. Literally, I will always tell people this. I literally do not care if Andrew exists, or if Cassidy is the Happiest Day receiver, or if Bite Victim is, or... I really don't care. My only gripe with Andrew is he just feels shoehorned at the moment. He just feels really shoehorned at the minute. Where, like, cool, yeah, we have... like all this cool stuff with Andrew, and like, oh yeah, he's the Vengeful Spirit in this, you know, book timeline, if it is an alternate universe. But where does he appear in the games at any point? You know, like that's my issue. Like, if he is meant to exist in the games, he feels very shoehorned in. That's my issue with Andrew. Otherwise, if we get really anything else of, oh hey, look at this, you know, like there's Andrew evidence here and Andrew evidence there and Andrew evidence over there, I'd be more open to it. No, I'm sorry, I'm being mean to Andrew. I have no issue with him existing. They just need to do a better job at conveying that he's in the games, because he just feels so shoehorned in. Like, it is ridiculous. It's like the whole time throughout FNAF, we have 5 missing children. We have, you know, Molten MCI. We have Golden Freddy, which at the time the only other spirit would have been Cassidy. You know, you have Bite Victim, you know, being the Bite of 83. You have all of these things. And even now, you still don't have any evidence of a 6th MCI victim in the games. You literally do not. Where does Andrew appear in UCN? Where? Tell me specifically where you see Andrew. And if you say the image, Pochica High School. Specifically where? Into the Pits game, but how do we know that Mega Cat Studios is even a game universe that's in the same thing right now? In the same universe as Steel Wool and Scott's. So that's the thing. There's nothing that's connecting that, and yeah. The vents and the doors. That kid has blonde hair. Well, if you say Pig Patch, you have to say all the other mediocre melodies too. So, with Pig Patch, I know you're probably referencing, like, you'll see, like, the river one. Like, if you sit by the river long enough, you'll see the body of your enemy float by, or something like that. That doesn't really confirm much of anything, especially considering the fact that, well, one's referencing a river, one's a lake. The Foxy Hook 7th victim is interesting, but doesn't confirm anything. Charlie, I don't know what that means. The Vengeful Spirit image. And the Vengeful Spirit image, it's a kid with non-curly blonde hair. Oh, Pig Patch means Twitchy the high school years Pig Patch. Oh, okay. I mean, because even when you invert the colors of, you know, the Vengeful Spirit, it's just white hair with blue highlights. It's not, it doesn't even turn to black hair. So, and the Vengeful Spirit looks like the Golden Freddy kid in the movie, by the way. True, obscure characters, true. But Golden Freddy was always an obscure character. I mean, Golden Freddy was technically always an obscure character. I mean, FNAF 1, obscure. FNAF 2, obscure. FNAF 3, obscure. FNAF 4, obscure. This location, obscure. I mean, Yendo, Nightmare Fredbear, all... Golden Freddy was an obscure character. Read the movie novel. The ending clearly makes that kid seem like the Vengeful Spirit. I need to get that. I haven't gotten it yet. I have heard that, yes. Yeah, don't you hate getting killed by obscure secondary characters? Golden Freddy is definitely an obscure secondary character in the games. Like, he never once really takes the main stage. Episode 6, oh yeah, the really violent one. Yeah, where, yeah, throw a bag over his head, hit him with a shovel is. The Vengeful Spirit, I do want to say this. It could most certainly be like a mistake. Because I do want to say, one, the listing was gender neutral. It could have been a young boy or a young girl voice actor. And then with animatronics, and my biggest point is Charlie. Charlie is a female, but is referred to as him because of the marionette. The marionette's a him, the spirit's a she. But when you possess something in the FNAF universe, your pronouns become the thing you possess. So let's say I were to possess Chica, I am a he, him. So if I were to possess Toy Chica, I would now be a she, her. Because of that. Oh, Scott definitely forgot about some of his own lore. Fight Victim is not the Vengeful Spirit. Draz got on Rivals. Does it? Has a hidden grave in the Halloween area of... I'd have to figure it out. True, but also you tell me that you see that thing in the pitch black, and you tell me that you can figure out the gender of that face in the darkness. Where you fight purple guys? There was a reason why. It was because the Vengeful Spirit kept him alive to torture him. And then he died. It was literally just like he just delayed his death. That is a good point, Clavis. However, I do want to say this. They're referring to the Vengeful Spirit, which they're viewing as Golden Freddy. Lady, I think you're thinking of the FNAF 4 Halloween update. I think the FNAF World one was canon. I could be wrong, though. Yeah, Scott told us Vengeful Spirit face. Yeah, it's his son. But sorry that you have Golden Freddy, which is a male animatronic, so the pronouns would be him. You know, so it's like, so you have, you know, the face of, you know, what would look like a boy. Like if you were to see that face, you would think it's a boy. You have Golden Freddy being a male. Scott says he regrets making it canting. Canting. Scott said he regrets making FNAF World canon, but it is. He did say that FNAF World is canon. Yeah, Nightmare BB is canon to FNAF 4 for some reason. Yeah, no, Scott said that he hates that he made FNAF World canon, but it is canon to FNAF. It is in continuity. He did say that. Then what continuity is it canon to? And then and what continuity? Yeah, he regrets trying to make it canon, but it is. It is canon. It's a possibility, Clavis. It's weird. Yeah, here, yeah. Well, then Toronto, I want to ask you this, and I'm going to do this before the end of the stream. Toronto, how do you explain all the FNAF World references in UCN, such as like Bounce Pot, Tangle, and all that appearing on the desk, the OMC connection with the trophy, and all the other connections, like Endo Plush was going to be in the game, DD, stuff like that. How do you connect all of those? Because regardless, there's ties to it in an in-continuity game. So if you want to say that FNAF World isn't in continuity, then neither is UCN. Because those two are directly tied to one another. Yeah, exactly. If we're making World 9 canon, we have to decanonize UCN. Because they're directly connected to one another. You have OMC, who's a FNAF World character. Yes, Clavis, please do that. Are you in my Discord, Clavis? Also, I do really like the discussion we're all having. Y'all are really chill, really nice. Keep being chill like this. Yeah, and UCN, if you set OMC to 1 and you do it, and it puts you in like the Old Man Consequences area, you do it, and then you go back to FNAF World, you have the Old Man Consequences trophy in FNAF World. So regardless, you can't. Yeah, so like if you decanonize World, you decanonize UCN, which decanonizes a huge part, because then you pretty much decanonize a lot of frights too in that aspect. Like then you completely decanonize Andrew if you want to argue Andrew. You decanon Stitch Wraith and any story connected to Stitch Wraith. You decanonize Frailty. You decanonize so many things. It pretty much completely destroys modern FNAF if you were to decanonize FNAF World. Hey! Yeah, if you decanonize OMC, you decanonize Security Breach, Help Wanted 2. We win! We convinced Toronto! Let's go! Okay, well, I'm gonna parade my victory as I make a Crunchwrap casserole. Yeah, let's just decanonize everything, guys. Nothing exists anymore. Everything just sucks. FNAF has gone off the rails. Let's just decanonize everything. But, oh yeah, FNAF World lore-wise absolutely sucks. It's a great game, but lore-wise, oh, it's absolutely horrible, Toronto. I completely agree. Okay, sounds good, Draz. But, so, what do we want to do for the next stream? Do we want to do UCN? I could do some Help Wanted. Yeah, double decanonize the movie as Chica's Magic Rainbows in it. Yes. A Crunchwrap casserole. Hey Austin, can you join my Discord? If you guys want the Crunchwrap casserole recipe, I will be posting it after I make it tonight. Okay. I will post the recipe to Crunchwrap casserole. I do have the image of it. Hold on, I will get the image of it and then I'm gonna end the stream because I need to make food because Crunchwrap casserole takes. Crunchwrap. Okay, I'm pulling up the images of like the process of like the first time I made it because that's like the only images I have of it. It is such a goated meal. And here, I'll even pull out the book. Here, let me hold on. Okay. Okay, we go over here. That's what it looks like. Here we go. I'm pulling out the book right now. So Crunchwrap casserole. So oh wait, I need my mic over here. That's right. That's kind of important. Okay. So Crunchwrap casserole. This is like the image of the first step. So everything you need you're gonna need a pound of ground beef, 1 cup of chopped onion, a 1/3 cup of water, 3 tablespoons of margarine or butter, 6 10-inch tortillas, 3 medium ripe tomatoes diced, 8 ounces of low-fat sour cream. Well, for me, low-fat sour cream because my pancreas. You can use normal sour cream. A bag of baked chips. You can use tostadas. I need to do baked chips because yes. 15 ounces of nacho cheese, 1/2 cup of shredded lettuce, 2 tablespoons of guac, and 1 teaspoon of hot sauce. Okay. So the first layer, yeah, I need to remember the first. So first thing you do is that you brush a 9x13 baking dish with butter and arrange the five tortillas along the edge and let excess hang over the sides. Okay. And then after that, you layer shredded cheese, then tomato, then sour cream, chips, nacho cheese, then beef, and then a tortilla in the center. Fold and brush with butter, and then bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Okay. And this is the process of it. Okay. And this is what it looks like at the end. Okay. That's what it looks like at the end. And it is so good. Like, oh my god, dude, it is so good. I have recipes for my autoimmune disease, like my autoimmune pancreatitis. So I also have like pizza fries. I have Japanese curry. I have so many recipes. I have Rice Krispie cheesecake. God, it's so good. This is a Crunchwrap casserole, lady. This is a Crunchwrap casserole. It's the best thing in the world, and I'm gonna make it right now. So I'm gonna end the stream. So, okay. Oh, it's so good. If you want the recipe, join my Discord. I'll be posting it tonight after I make it. So, enchilada lasagna? Austin, send me that. That sounds really good. But anyways, I need to get off because it's already like 4:14. It takes me like an hour and a half to make it with all the prep and stuff because I have to chop everything. So okay. Again, thank you to Terminal, thank you to Draz for letting me react to their videos. If you guys can, please do go and subscribe to them and everything. Really cool people, absolute W's in the community. Go subscribe to Gibby's Horror Homestead. I'm going to be working with them on 1430 Part 2, as you can see in the bottom right corner right now. I'm really excited for it. We do have a third guest possibly coming, and please do continue to try to guess. I will say this, someone guessed right. Otherwise, that's pretty much everything that I have for today. Make sure to subscribe to all those amazing, beautiful people, and subscribe to TDread, everyone who has ever helped me, worked with me, and stuff like that. Shut up, Mike. Okay. Otherwise, yeah, I hope y'all enjoy. If you want the recipe, just join my Discord. It's in the description and everything like that. I know we didn't really quite figure it out, but we did make some really nice progress and figured out those yellow eyes. So we'll keep investigating. I'll keep you all posted. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great day or evening. Stay safe. Make sure to comment 14 times, otherwise you're banned. Stay safe again.